Hey everybody, it's James from Urban Jungle MSP, and I'm coming at you today with a video about these two Monsteras. Now, this one on your left is Monstera Thai Constellation, and it's not super variegated and hasn't put out a new leaf in about 4 months, and I think it's because I have roots spiraling the bottom of this pot, so I'm going to give this a little bit of a bigger pot. Over here is my albo-variegated Monstera. I paid a pretty penny for this as a one-node cutting, which I would not advise anybody to do. But I paid quite a bit of money for this back in April, and it also hasn't done a whole lot. But it has 2 new growth points on it, and I think that there's some potential. But I checked the bottom of this guy too, and there are roots coming out of the bottom. So one of my plant friends in the Twin Cities, Leaf and Lens on Instagram, said, hey, maybe you should try repotting if there are roots coming out of the bottom. And I said, okay, so here we are. Let's repot these. So I have all my supplies right here. I have this really trusty little tub that I use to do all of my repotting. I honestly got it. It's kind of sad. After my grandfather passed away, we were clearing things out of his house, and I got a tub of dishes in this bin, and I've used it ever since. It's super handy, so highly recommend getting a tub to do your repotting in as opposed to doing it on the floor. And then I have my 2 plants, my Thai Constellation Monstera and my albo-variegate Monstera over here. And then I have 2 pots. This guy, the Monstera Thai Constellation, is going to go into a 6-inch pot, and then the albo-variegated one is just going to get upsized into this one, which is a little bit bigger. I am using black gold potting mix, which is specifically formulated for cacti and succulents, but I don't have one that's just a general purpose potting mix at this time, so they're just going to get that, and I hope it's good, and we are just going to try it out. But I think that these two are going to be much happier in a bigger container because they probably feel like there's nowhere else for me to go, and so they're really not like super happy right now. So that's about it. Let's just chit chat and repot. The first one that I'm going to work on is this guy right here, the Thai Constellation. The Thai Constellation has some really beautiful variegation in it. It's more like creamy white as opposed to white like the albo-variegated Monstera. So I'm just going to try to get this out. I have a spoon right here, so I'm going to just try to loosen the edges, and I can tell that there are some roots sticking over here onto the pot. So we will see how this goes. Okay, so I'm just going to try to shimmy this guy out. Holy crap. Okay, so this was due for a major repotting. You can see all of these roots just spiraling the bottom. So that's a good sign. It means everything's really healthy, so that's really good. I got this plant back in the spring, and I got a really great deal off of Facebook Marketplace. It was the first time that I bought a plant online, and the seller was out of Michigan, and he had them for a really good price. It was $65, and I thought it was kind of too good to be true. So he ended up shipping me my plant, and it got to me in really great shape, and here we are today repotting it. So I wouldn't recommend repotting typically in the wintertime, but since I have grow lights in my apartment and the plant will be getting, pretty full artificial sunlight throughout the day, I feel like it's okay. Everything I've learned about plants has just been trial and error, so if it's not, we are going to find that out too. Also, make sure your grow lights aren't too close to your plant, because as you can see right here, I burned this poor little leaf because I put it too close to my grow light, so be careful with that. So I'm just going to backfill in here. Are you surprised that I'm not talking about Hoyas today? I was trying to look for projects around the apartment that didn't have to do with Hoyas because I want to be able to vary some of the topics up a little bit. So I am working with my Monsteras. So this mix that I have this in is really light and full of perlite, which personally I kind of like because then it reduces the risk of overwatering, and you want to make sure that you include some type of drainage or soil amendment that allows for your soil to drain a little bit faster. I also pretty exclusively pot into terracotta for that same reason, because it's porous and allows air to pass through. So I think this guy is going to be so much happier in here. I'm going to get this watered in, and I think it will start to grow for me again, hopefully. We will see. I don't know. I'm not going to put that grow light too close to it because, as you can see, I burned it. I will say that I'm a little bit more concerned about this albo-variegated Monstera just because this pot that it's in is so compact. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get out of here, but we are going to try. So I'm just going to loosen up the sides. And the aerial roots on these guys are insane. So I have, once I get this out, I'll show you. Okay, yeah, we're sticking to the pot. So look at this. This aerial root rooted into the soil and went all the way down to the bottom and started spiraling. So this plant definitely needed to be repotted. So I have a little paper towel here with me. I'm gonna stick that into the bottom of my little nursery pot. And I don't have any, that is not true. Look at this, terracotta. I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh, I don't have any 4-inch terracotta pots. So I have a terracotta pot right here. Most people will tell you to disinfect your pots if you're reusing them. But you know what? We're just gonna do this. I don't have time to disinfect all my pots right now because it's the holidays and everything is insane. Between shopping, not for plants, for other people, and events. I have a band concert coming up at the end of this week. So everything is just kind of wild right now. And yeah, that's just the holidays for you. It's like the happiest time of the year and also the most stressful at the same time. So let's hope that your plants can bring you a little bit of balance. I've been feeling personally like a little anxious recently. I have been dealing with a situation where I bought a plant from a seller online, also through Facebook Marketplace, and it hasn't really been going well. I've needed to contact PayPal and have them intervene, so I'm hoping that I can have resolution to that case this week. So we're just gonna see. So that's the tea, sis. So I'm just gonna shake some of this soil down into here. And there's some orchid bark and perlite and also some black balls that are getting into here because I had my Hoya mix in this bin before. That's okay, everything's good. So I'm just gonna pack this down. And as you can see, this is in a little bit of a bigger container. And I hope that this guy is happy with some of those nutrients from the fresh potting soil. We'll see. I hope I get some more variegation on this one too, because right now it's just like very soft variegation. Not a whole lot going on with this plant, but hopefully with more light produces more. And I just found out recently one Hoya fact. Hoyas produce more splash if it's a splash variety in lower light. So I don't understand that because with all other aeroids, if they get more light, the variegation comes out more strongly. So if anybody has an answer on that, please send me a message and let me know. But anyway, that's all she wrote for me. Here are my 2 repotted variegated monsteras. If you haven't already, go to instagram.com/urbanjunglemsp and follow my page there. There's a lot of content, and if you're #HotForHoya, that's a great place for you to go. Otherwise, send me any messages if you have questions, and I'll see you in the next video.